So we're talking about practice here now.
Okay, Alan.
What are some kind of basic ideas that you should take into the practice room when you are practicing conducting? What do you need to do to be efficient and effective while practicing?
So this goes back to my personal practice. So I always, so I do stretching as a percussionist, a warm up, and then I have a pretty set procedure of what I'm going to do. And for a beginning conductor, this is really pretty this is really pretty good. So I recommend for conductors to practice. It's got to be at least in a 15 to 20 minute chunk. It's just not something that you can go in, wave your arms around, and be able to walk out. So doing stretches, doing some Elizabeth Green exercises with a metronome. We need to always have the metronome on as conductors because we are entrusted with being able to give time from a cold start. So doing exercises at varying tempos, being able to work and find those spaces. Elizabeth Green exercises are what we use here at K-State, what a lot of universities and colleges use to be able to kind of warm your body up. And it's also a chance for you as the individual to kind of calm yourself down. I'm practicing conducting. I'm focusing on my breathing. I'm focusing on how I'm moving through space. I'm not worrying about my jury. I'm not worrying about the part that I don't have prepared for ensemble. I'm not worried about the paper that I have to write. It's a chance for you just to kind of clear your head and focus on, just breathing. So stretching, some stretches, some warm-ups, and then I'm really big for beginning conductors, that conducting palindrome like I mentioned, conducting a singular conducting 4/4 for 4 bars, conducting 3/4 for 4 bars, connecting 2/4 for 4 bars, and then doing at different tempo. One thing that I am a proponent of is if you are having a hard time being consistent with your ictus or approaching the plane, taking a music stand, and if you flip this music stand around, put a tick mark where you want beat 1 to be, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, stand up, adjust the music stand so that you can actually hit it, and then be able to practice with a metronome so that you have something tactile and something visual to reassure that you're hitting your target as a conductor. Whether you're focal conducting or you're doing beat style conducting like we do at K-State. That's something that you can also do with that too. If you listen, if you're not hitting with the tip of the stick, hitting more towards the shaft, that means you're not using enough of your fulcrum or you're using too much of your arm. So there's a lot of minutia that can be established with that too. So I'm really big for beginning conductors is to conduct on something tactile so that you can be able to hear that you're making contact in time. And then also that you're just reinforcing good habits of where your plane is or the ictus is going to approach that plane so that you can be consistent. So again, conducting is about consistency. Because you come down on beat 1, 2, 3, 4 all at the same place, that's why you can do a gesture, show a gesture, and it makes musical sense because you've gone from something consistent inside the box to now breaking out of the box and showing contrast with that too. So going back to your question, I went on a tangent for a little bit. Just having a plan. So if you are working on fractional beat preparation in your beginning conducting class, start your warm-up by conducting in the pattern that exercise is going to be in so that you can be efficient, you can be productive. If you are working on changing meters, conducting 4 bars of 4/4, going into a 3/4, going into a 2/4, that should somewhere be in your warm-up so that when you actually get to practicing the excerpt, you already have that in the bag. It's just like practicing anything else. It's just so different because, like I said, you've gone 20-some years of your life practicing an instrument or practicing music in this way. Now you're having to relearn all of that on an expedited track and expected and want yourself to look like Jerry Junkin or Gustav Dudamel or any other litany of conductors that you admire too. So it's challenging. So having a plan, just like with anything else, having the discipline to be able to stick with that plan and just being able to trust the process. You have to be able to feel pain in order to achieve gains. And that pain is growth. It's not failure. You're learning, you're growing, you're pushing your envelope and breaking down your walls. And so don't think of it as a failure that's going to paralyze you. Think of it as an opportunity for you to understand what you're not good at and then allow yourself to be able to get better because now you know what that weakness is, so quote unquote.